Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, episode 628, Independent Board of Trustees. Definitely thank everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate the trustees that have reached out for years. Once again, tune in live, listen to replay. Just big thanks. I definitely want to. We do still have something coming up for real estate. We know we talked about it early November. Right now, we actually are planning that out because we have so many trustees that are Airbnbs and things of that nature. If you are in real estate and Airbnb and you want to network with people in your state, email Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's email Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to connecting with you and you actually get in the rooms for that actual webinar. Something that we're going to do here before the end of the year for real estate people. We have a ton of trustees that we've engaged with this year that they just need help with real estate and trusteeship and networking with other people in those areas, specifically those states. And then you have trustees that have some cash that can invest in other people's properties, that can buy other people's properties, things of that nature. Once again, definitely am super thankful, excited to do this episode. Independent Board of Trustees. This is one of those episodes that definitely, going through our own things over at the vault, we know that a lot of trustees, they don't really know that you can have an independent trustee. A lot of the trustees run into the problem that they're the sole trustee, and then they don't see that as a problem. We were going to do an episode on that. That they don't see that as a problem being a sole trustee, or they're not really fully aware that it's a problem. But in all actuality, ladies and gentlemen, the trust can hire independent trustees. Like, these are basic things that we have conversations about in trustee training with our trustees. Everybody doesn't need to be in trust. So when people are here, oh, I'm a X, Y, and Z of assess the K trust, but they never talked about the judge being an independent trustee. And it's the same thing for your family estate. It's hiring quality professionals. Right now we got a family that we're dealing with. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a real story. They have over 50 acres of land. Oh, that's not a lot. It's not a little bit either. Something's better than nothing. Okay, so we can talk about it. What independent advisor do they have over the estate? What independent trustee do they have over the trust that's managing the property? People come to us all the time. Oh, I'm in trust. Oh, I have a trust. They're concerned about their children because what? Their children aren't competent to manage the trust. Did you hire independent trustees to give advisory for you and the current generation that's active in management? Or do you have independent trustees that will still sit on the board when your children come in, but they don't still lose control of the assets? Those are the things that we talk about in trustee training. Those are the things that we go over on our calls. Why? Because independent board of trustees, people come to us all the time. Oh, I read this book, Trust Christian, and I heard about this thing called a protector. Well, why didn't we just call it an independent trustee? What's independent? That means they're not a trustee in the trust. They're a trustee that advises outside the trust. Do you hear how much comfort and security you get being in trust for your family estate, putting your children's assets in the correct position, but you don't have to worry about the wrong managers, the wrong trustees not giving your children their due share or the opportunity to manage such assets? It's simple. So we put an independent board of trustees. They say, oh, okay, Trust Christian, independent board of trustees, I'm lost. I don't know what these people are to do. I don't know why I would get them over having a regular trustee. Okay. The reason why you're going to have an independent is because then they're not in the trust. You can do a work for hire. The trust creates a work for hire contract for an independent trustee to do a quarterly review of the assets. A quarterly review of the assets. A quarterly review of the accounting. Oh, Trust Christian, I'm concerned about the accounting. You know how many trustees come to us? They're so concerned about the accounting. So why wouldn't you just do the accounting every 30 days with an enrolled agent? Or every 90 days with an enrolled agent sitting as an independent trustee? Someone that can look over the numbers. Someone that can do a compilation report. Someone that can do a audit, quote unquote. Doesn't have to be a full audit, could be a light audit, could be a compilation report for the trust numbers every 90 days. I'm so concerned about the accounting, Trust Christian. About this is everything we hear. Oh, I'm so concerned about the accounting. They're so concerned about accounting and do it properly. Then you go, the trust goes out and hires an independent trustee to overlook the books every 3 months. See how we help solve that problem through trustee training? We go over that so you can put those things in place. There's more depth to it, of course, but just covering it superficially, of course. We can have enrolled agents. You all that have listened for years, you all can hire Larissa as a consultant to the trust. How many people think about hiring a tax professional to consult the trust? That's what an independent board of trustees is. They're going to take a independent position, but they're going to be on a work for hire. And the best part about these people is they're supposed to give unbiased information, unbiased thoughts towards the actual execution of projects and trusteeship. Independent, unbiased information. All right, Trust Christian, you're telling us we need these people, but I don't know the qualifications for this person. I need the qualifications, Trust Christian. What am I looking for when I go on LinkedIn and I'm looking for a senior trustee? You ready? We're going to go through them. Professional skills in specific industry or experience. How many of y'all in a specific business? If you're in a specific business, you might want to have specific independent trustees from that field. You don't want them to have a competing professional commitment. This is something that we've learned throughout the process. This is something you learn. We've had trustees for sure become independent trustees, but they also admitted within the first call for sure that they had a conflict of interest because our portfolio was competing against their portfolio. That's it. Competing professional commitments. Independence. You want them to have independence. That's why they're called an independent trustee. They're not the family members that have biased opinions. They're independent. Here we go. Let's talk about it, Trust Christian. What are the skills we're looking for? Thank you, Trust Christian, for giving us the profile, the makeup of this independent board of trustees that we can go out and hire. High integrity, ethical standards, experience as a senior trustee. They might have public company experience on helping they get loans. Specific seasoned legal industry experience. So it means the independent trustee may have legal experience in trust, may have various different experience in trusteeship. Risk management experience. Understand they have an understanding of or experience with complex organizations. They also have the ability to work cordially and collaboratively with other board members. Huh. Here we go. Y'all talk about this AI stuff. They come to us all the time about this AI stuff. They come to us about this blockchain stuff. Do you have someone that's an independent board of trustees that's help you focus on cybersecurity? Oh, Trust Christian, are we talking to the ones that have high net worth investor money, or are we talking to people that say that they're trustees and it doesn't matter where you're at, you still have to have the best practice at an early stage? Focusing on having people in the environment that have cybersecurity experience, especially as you manage records for the estate. We have an issue right now with a family. They don't have proper records. That could be an issue with who they're dealing with. Management and additional skills, such as financial literacy, data and analytic skills, operational management experience, capital markets, banking expertise, corporate governance, trustee governance, trust governance, sustainability experience. What is it? Various different things. Marketing and branding, taxes. Once again, why would you not have an enrolled agent as an independent advisor to the trust? They say, oh, is it an independent advisor or an independent trustee? There you go. Good question. Independent advisor, not a trustee, but we know in the title most people are going to be trustees, but you can still hire independent advisor. The trust still can hire independent advisor, tax advisor in specific, other expertise that may be important in oversight of the trust operations and strategic objectives. Now, this is what happens. People get in trusteeship, they think they slick. And we say this because instead of them just saying what we just said, which is, Trust Christian, can you consult the trust? Which we do. That's what we do. They ask, can we actually come in and be a trustee? No, we are independent trustee That's what we can be, an independent trustee. That means you pay us for the meeting, we show up, we advise. We actually were looking at a company today. It's say and pay. This is what they say you're supposed to do, and you pay them for that. Say and pay. Say and pay. Think about these type of thought processes that they have at C-suite and executive levels. You're building a family estate. You're building a trust. How you're not going to be the sole trustee. We're going to have independent advisors. We're going to have independent board members. What does that look like? Well, you say, okay, Christian, what does it look like compensation wise? Because we haven't talked about it. Compensation is usually a meeting by meeting basis. So if you show up, you pay, you say and you get paid. That's how that works. If somebody doesn't show up, why would they get paid? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves as seniors. As a senior, how do we pay people? Who's on staff full time? Who's on staff for your family estate full time? Are you on staff? Oh, Trust Christian, I'm full time on staff. But yeah, what are the fringe benefits of the trust, quote unquote? Is the trust paying for a company car? Is the trust paying for a company property? How are you managing a estate? Are you managing it from a personal perspective or are you managing it from a business perspective? You hear the difference? See, personal means you're coming out of pocket. Oh, trustees do that all the time because they got job mentality. They don't think about saying, I got to put this in a position where it pays for itself. And not only it pays for itself, you have managers that it can pay to continue managing it. It's a different thought process, ladies and gentlemen. Of course it is. An independent board of trustees is going to give advice. Here we go. They're going to, what do we say, advisor. You want to find people like our mentors trained us. You want to find people with deep experience. You say, Trust Christian, how much experience does this person need to be years wise? We would like these people in our environment traditionally have 20 years minimum of experience. That's definitely something that it could sound a little off putting to some people like, wow, that's a lot of experience. We're going to find somebody with that much experience that once again wants to be an independent trustee. For all of y'all that got real estate, for all of y'all that got successful businesses, you can have an independent trustee advise the company once, twice, 3 or 4 times a year, 4 times for every quarter. You can have a quarterly meeting saying, look, let's review the portfolio. Give me your advisory. I'm going to take over the next 90 days what we're going to do to grow the portfolio. That is an independent board of trustee advisor type thought process. Once again, they have experience in a specific field. They have experience in trust. They have a bunch of experience. Please go back to this episode and listen to it. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, what are we talking about here? Why are people questioning whether they should have an independent board of trustees? When most trustees are sole trustees anyways for their family. First gens are usually the first trustees. Right, because you're the first gen, it's usually husband and wife, or it's just a husband, or it's just a wife. It's a single person. You're the sole trustee. If you're the smartest person in the room, I thought the rule was to get out. If you're the smartest person in the room, that's a problem. We want to hire great talent. We want to have great advisors. How are we going to go to the next level? We don't have advisement from the next level. Oh, Trust Christian Vault, I want to be a billionaire. But do you have a billionaire advisor advising your family estate? You can have a billionaire advisor. They're available. They're on the internet. We tell a story all the time about how one of our mentors reached out to Mark Cuban and he told us this story and he still tells us the story to this day. It took him 17 emails to get Mark Cuban to answer 5 questions. How are you above that? My mentor is a millionaire. He still reached out as a millionaire 17 times. If you're not willing to do that level of work, you can't say, well, Trust Christian, I couldn't find somebody there for 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we reached out to lawyers that work for Nike. We reached out to people that work for publicly traded companies. Why? Because those people are just like you. They started at ground zero too. They wanted to grow to a new position. They found mentors and they're willing to mentor. But are you willing to put yourself out there and express the vulnerability emotionally that you need a mentor? You know what I mean? Trustees, they come to us and we sit there and we talk to them and say, hey, yeah, do you got a mentor? And they say, nope. And they say it with pride. How is that a pride? How do you take pride in not having a mentor? Because you're the smartest person in the room. That's it. The smartest person in the room never has a mentor. The wealthiest people in the room Have mentors. Why? Because wealthy people, people that are of a certain ilk, understand we don't know what we don't know. And there's always going to be things that we don't know. You don't get to certain levels of success knowing it all. That was easy. Cool. We don't need to know it all, but we do need to have advisors. Once again, independent board of trustees. Trust Christian, how many are we looking at initially? We're looking at about minimum of two if you're going to be the independent board of trustees. If you're going to be the independent board of, I mean, if you're going to be like, if you're, you all know, if you're the first trustee meaning you're single or it's just you and your husband, you and your wife, you may want to have like two additional opinions. Remember, we're doing a quorum, so we want to have a odd number, and then once again, so we can never be voted out. We want to make sure that we have, before every board meeting, you want to talk to the board members. It does sound a little collusion, but at the same time, we still want to make sure that the independent board of trustees on the same page before we walk in that meeting, and then they vote against you. They could vote you out of trust. Once again, you got to put things in place to make sure that they can't vote you out of trust. Independent board of trustees means they don't have an internal vote of leadership and things of that nature. They're outside the trust. They're not in the trust. So those are things that you want to be very, very clear on as a trustee. That's it. You just want to be clear on, okay, they're outside, they're not inside, so whatever they say is just advice. It's say and pay. They say it, we pay them. They're getting paid to tell us something to go out and execute. Do you know how powerful that is when you can measure your independent board of trustees results when they give the family estate money? That's what people do with us at the vault. They come in, they get into trusteeship, in turn, we can measure their results. Oh, how much money did you save here? How much liability did you get rid of here? It's challenging because when you're in preventive medicine, oh, there is no money in the reward. Yeah, there is. It's called great health and also spilling over and doing other great things, helping other people out, being a blessing. Not just, oh, I got to take from the system and be a leech. No, you're giving back now when you're healthy. Independent board of trustees, they get paid to say it, and in turn, it's actually what one of our mentors he pioneered it. It's actually pay for what is it fee only a financial advisory. That means you pay a fee and they give you financial advisory. So once again, why would you not want those people? Those people have a little bit more to live or die on. They have a little bit more care because they're getting paid for their advice. If they don't keep giving quality advice, they don't get paid. That's how that works. So once again, you have heard the model, say and pay. We've gone over some of the skill sets, some of the things that you're looking for. Even when you're interviewing these people, say, "What am I looking for?" Trust Christian Vote. You know what you're looking for. You're looking for experience. You're looking for expertise. How long have they been doing it? You want those years behind them. Do they have banking relationships? You want to know the relationships that they have in the field that you're looking to bring them on for. Okay, here we go. Y'all want to know? We ain't say this, but people gonna listen long enough. Y'all listening long enough. Y'all know we gonna pour value into y'all because that's what we do at the vault. So cool. Some people say, "Oh, Trust Christian, what does the compensation look like for these people?" We about to go ahead and point it out to you. Compensation for a board member. So let's just say you're on, you're a trustee. Independent trustees, supplemental retainers. This is a public company we're looking at right now. The lead independent trustees, which are usually going to be your financial advisors, they get 20K. 20K is probably either for one meeting or it's for four meetings throughout the year. This company in particular, we're looking at, these are non-management trustees. Once again, they're getting $20,000 most likely each board meeting. Retainers are paid quarterly in cash. Once again, they can convert those cash distributions over to actual equity. When people in trust talk all this stuff to us, they come to us all the time. Oh, I got this, I got that, I got this asset, I got equity. Trust is in equity. But did you give out equity for someone that advised the trust? Once again, so $20,000 is pretty big. It's a $1 billion company we're looking at. So their trustees, they can they're demanding 20,000. Independent trustees are getting $20,000 to show up, pay and say, okay, Trust Christian. So a trustee, financial advisor, they might, y'all think about that. Y'all might only pay them $20,000 a year if you're not a multimillionaire, billionaire. Very much so. Don't do that. Less than that. Okay, let's talk about the audit committee. Excuse me. So what the heck? Committee. The audit committee, or your enrolled agent or financial advisor, anywhere from 7,500 that $7,000 to $10,000. That could be a quarterly meeting or that could be throughout the year. Once again, this is just for uh, advisory and they're outside the trust. So y'all hear the ideas you're talking about. Yeah, that doesn't sound like crazy prices. It sounds like something that's just traditional business expenses. These are expenses for the family estate, but we definitely want to go over how much that's roundabout going to cost you off of those independent advisors, and y'all now see what we're talking about. So appreciate you all for tuning in live, listen, replay. Feel free to type into the chat any questions you have. Christian at trustchristian.com. We'll go back and answer those questions. But Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, it's Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to hearing from you all in the chat or as well email. Feel free to reach out. Look forward to hearing your trustee training. Peace and joy.